The Japanese Meiji Restoration, Modernizing an Ancient Nation. Welcome to TimeFrame, where we dive deep into the events that shaped our world. Today, we're exploring a transformative period in Japanese history, known as the Meiji Restoration. This era marked a pivotal shift from centuries of feudal rule to a modern nation-state, setting the stage for Japan's rise as a global power. The Meiji Restoration began in the mid-nineteenth century, when Japan faced immense pressure from Western powers. For over 200 years, Japan had isolated itself, adhering to a policy of sakoku, or closed country. However, this isolation was challenged when American Commodore Matthew Perry arrived in Tokyo Bay with a fleet of black ships in 1853. His mission was to open Japan to trade, and this event was a wake-up call for the Japanese leadership. As Western nations began to exert their influence, the ruling Tokugawa shogunate struggled to respond effectively. Discontent grew among various factions, including samurai, merchants, and intellectuals, who felt that Japan needed to modernize to compete with the West. This desire for change culminated in the overthrow of the shogunate and the restoration of power to Emperor Meiji in 1868. The new government quickly recognized that modernization was essential for survival. Inspired by the West, Japan embarked on a series of reforms that would transform its economy, military, and society. One of the first major changes was the adoption of a new constitution in 1890. This document established a parliamentary system and guaranteed certain civil liberties, marking Japan's transition to a more democratic governance structure. The government also invested heavily in industrialization. Railroads, telegraph lines, and factories sprang up across the nation. The textile industry in particular flourished as Japan began to produce goods for both domestic consumption and export. This rapid industrial growth led to urbanization, with many people moving from rural areas to cities in search of work. Education reform was another crucial aspect of the Meiji Restoration. The government established a national education system, emphasizing science, technology, and foreign languages. This focus on education produced a skilled workforce capable of driving Japan's modernization efforts. As literacy rates soared, a new generation of thinkers emerged, advocating for further reforms and social change. The military was not overlooked during this period of transformation. Japan adopted Western military practices and technologies, creating a modern army and navy. This newfound military strength was put to the test during the First Sino-Japanese War in the mid-1890s, where Japan emerged victorious. This victory marked Japan's emergence as a formidable power in East Asia and altered the balance of power in the region. However, modernization came with its challenges. As Japan rapidly industrialized, social inequalities began to surface. The gap between the wealthy elite and the working class widened, leading to tensions and unrest. Labor movements began to form, demanding better working conditions and fair wages. The government faced the delicate task of balancing rapid progress with the needs of its citizens. Despite these challenges, the Meiji Restoration laid the foundation for Japan's future as a modern nation. By the early 20th century, Japan had established itself as a significant player on the world stage. The legacy of the Meiji era continues to influence Japan's identity and development even today. As we reflect on this remarkable transformation, we see how the Meiji Restoration not only modernized an ancient nation, but also reshaped its cultural and social landscape. The journey from feudalism to modernity was not easy, but it set Japan on a path that would lead to its emergence as a global leader. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the Japanese Meiji Restoration. We hope you found this journey through history as fascinating as we did. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to TimeFrame for more captivating stories from our past. See you in the next video.